So, we all know that social media companies are up to some shady business in terms of our privacy and our data. Uh, what are some of the creepier practices that maybe we don't know about?
We all feel sort of creeped out by this with the things that are right in front of us. You get an ad for something that is exactly what you needed and you didn't know it existed. And that's sort of helpful, but also, how did they possibly know that that's the thing that I wanted? Or you worry that your phone's listening in, or you get really spot on suggestions for things. That can be creepy when it's super accurate. But behind the scenes, there's all kinds of artificial intelligence going through your data and picking up on little traces that you would never think of. So, one really good example of this, Facebook filed a patent for their people you may know feature. So, this is the thing that recommends people that you should become friends with. Users aren't huge fans of that feature on Facebook, but Facebook loves it because it keeps you engaged, it keeps you on Facebook for longer. So, they're always trying to make it better. And this patent was looking for, how do I tell two people to become friends when there's not an obvious way that they might know each other? So imagine that you and I are somewhere, we're not friends on Facebook, but somebody takes your picture and you're like, oh, that's a great picture. Could you send it to me? They text it to you and you post it up on Facebook. And I do the same thing. So you and I aren't Facebook friends. We're not Facebook friends with the person who took the picture. There's just somebody taking great pictures and we both decided to post it. Facebook can analyze the little traces from the dust and lens scratches on the photographer's camera and identify that our pictures were taken at the same time by the same device, and then suggest that we become friends with each other. And that's one of those things where it's so insane that you could potentially find these tiny little flaws that you can't see as a human being in the picture, but AI can pick up on those and then use that to say, oh, well, they were in the same place and they were talking to the same photographer, so maybe they know each other. They also use the location tracking feature in your phones to know if two phones are next to each other. But of course, that can happen with lots of people who don't know each other. If you're like on public transit and crammed in, or if we're past COVID and say we're at a bar at happy hour and we're packed in, we could be right next to each other the whole time and never even talk to each other. And so they use the accelerometer in the phone, which can kind of tell which direction it's facing. And they can tell if our phones are facing towards each other or away from each other, or if we're walking together. And then if we are, suggest that we become friends, which maybe makes sense until you think like that creepy guy at the bar who won't leave you alone and is looking at you all night and then follows you out when you leave. Then it could suggest you become his friend on Facebook the next day. So we don't know if they've actually deployed these to run that feature yet, but the fact that they've patented them means that they've tested it, they know that it works, and it's technology that they have. And this is not just to pick on Facebook, because lots of places are doing this kind of deep analysis of our data, but it shows just how tiny little signals can be enough to really feed this deep understanding of who we are and what we're doing.
Ooh, yikes, that really does sufficiently creep me out, Jen.